I was married. We had a beautiful daughter together, and I would have done anything for those two. I held a secret inside that my wife knew about, but she didn't understand it, and frankly, neither did I. Throughout the years, I sought out professional help, took medications, and did as many masculine things as I could. I fought these feelings since childhood, playing football, lifting weights. But even being surrounded by what should have been right, it all felt wrong. I felt as if I were imprisoned within myself. When the dysphoria kicked in, I felt rage inside. I wanted to scream and break the glass. The image I saw in the mirror didn't match. Am I cursed to live like this forever? It was always a roller coaster ride in my mind. How could this be possible? I did everything I was supposed to do. I was a good husband, a great father, I had fulfillment in my work, and I loved taking care of my family. Why wasn't this enough? I felt broken, even after all the professionals. I was falling apart. I started to act out in rebellion, lying, cheating, and stealing, just to feel anything else. I started to hate myself, pulling myself away from the ones I loved, doing things I later would be ashamed of. I was spiraling out of control, putting my career and family at risk. Something had to give, like a caged animal I paced waiting to be free. I grew more angry and frustrated by the day, so I did the unthinkable, and told my family to leave. This ended up becoming a huge mistake. The minute friends and family heard of my actions, I was completely isolated. A few came by to witness the spectacle they heard rumors about, humoring me and treating me like a sideshow freak. I was throwing away my entire life. My wife and daughter ran through my mind constantly. I wasn't ready. After 2 weeks of groveling and begging them to come home, they returned. Unfortunately, the damage was already done. The end was inevitable. We tried to rekindle what lay in the past, hoping that this time I could beat this. It grew stronger and I watched my family fade away. Why was I doing this to them? Why was I starting to self-destruct? All the past therapy and pills didn't work, and now my family suffers. My wife started to distance herself and started to grow bitter. I tried to get her to see it from my perspective, but she was already gone. She wanted a man in her life, and I don't blame her. I didn't even know who I was anymore. Saying goodbye to them was the hardest thing to do. I never wanted this for them, but I didn't want them to leave. I single-handedly dismantled my entire world. I hit rock bottom by sacrificing everything and everyone in order to protect them from my choices. Was death the only way out? I was alone again, but this time the isolation was torture. I became reckless and careless. My mind started to creep into darkness. I thought I would find peace being able to express myself, but with no friends and a family that pulled away, I sunk even deeper. I started to look for anyone, someone to help fill this emptiness inside. I went online to find companionship. Then I met some people, but they didn't have my best interests at heart. I didn't know who to trust, which made it easy to be taken advantage of. My kindness was repaid with deception and ill intent. My new roommate started giving me pills to help with my newfound anxiety. The frequency of pills, however, became ever increasing. Taking up to 10 to 14 pills a day, I became a zombie in my own home. In my waking hours, I was involved in the sex trade. I couldn't find a real job. I was involved in the trades, but no one wanted to hire a PR nightmare. Trust me. I'm not proud of this. The pills helped me blindly do what I needed to do in order to pay my bills, but I knew that what I was doing was dangerous. Apparently, it was too dangerous. After 2 years of avoiding violence in my profession, it finally happened. I was forcefully raped for 45 minutes. I refused to leave my room for over a week, almost overdosing on pills and sleeping the entire time. What happened to my life? How did it end up this way? I used to be so sure that this was my path. I've been reduced down to a human sex doll. This is not what I want. This is not what I expected. It's time to clean up the disaster I helped create, all the destruction left behind by my so-called freedom. But I wasn't free. I was a slave to the drugs, and a fetish, fantasy, freak and monster to everyone else. I started by kicking my roommate out, her 4-year-old, and 3 dogs in tow. Once I sobered up, I realized that they almost destroyed my home. I made an oath to myself that I will no longer be a victim or anyone's plaything. It was time to survive, time to rebuild and prove to the world that I do belong. Bit by bit, I will fix this, and I will bring meaning to my life. This time I'm going to earn my freedom and fight for what I want.